Welcome to the O.W.P. This is our wrestling podcast. This is Dave along with Jess.
Yeah. Damn it, I was gonna do the DiBiase laugh. Whatever. Fuck off.
Let's all do DiBiase laughs. Okay.
Cuz.
It was good.
Craig. It's a toss-up, man. Bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. And now on to our topic today, underutilized talent of today. Hit us up on Instagram at O.W.P 2019. Click on Linktree. You can find us on several platforms, including Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. And don't forget, we are now part of the Wrestle Hub family, all about wrestling podcast. Find them at the Wrestle Hub on YouTube and Instagram. This should be fun, guys, huh?
You know, we never talk about current product, so I think
try to make it a rule.
This might fancy, just because of our recording schedules, we could do whatever you want, Dave. But on this particular topic, everybody can suggest any topic they want. I ask often. So I'm thinking, and nobody says shit, so I choose a topic. So there you go.
The fact. Like he's like, does anyone have anything? And like no one says anything.
Yeah, okay, here's some shit. So I choose topic, and then every week Dave gets a digging on me. We're talking about current product. I'm like, you guys fucking don't think anything.
I think every time Jess asks for a new product, I'm just gonna go.
He does the DiBiase laugh.
That's not our job.
So we're gonna try to talk. I think it's a nice broad brush we're using here. Everybody, especially today in 2020 with social media and everything, everyone's a backseat booker. Everyone's a Pat Patterson. Everyone, including us at times. Everyone's a fantasy booker. So I think this is nice. I think we're going to use this in the same realm that we do our guilty pleasures. We do not know what each other has picked. So we all have a singles wrestler and a tag team wrestler from today's wrestling, from AEW, from Impact, from WWE, NXT, whatever you want.
And if someone picks yours, you got to scramble and pick another one, right?
Yes, we don't tell each other on purpose, so we pick a couple, so that way in case somebody picks our choice, we have a backup. So I want from everybody, I'm going to go around the table. We'll do tag team first, then we'll do single second.
Oh, damn.
First, I want your tag team from today's wrestling climate, from AEW, WWE, Impact, whatever, that you think are being underutilized, booked wrong, whatever you want to call it. What do you think? So I'm going to start with tag team. Let's go to fucking Cuz. Cuz, what tag team do you think in today's wrestling climate is being underutilized?
Viking Raiders.
Good. Okay.
Fucking son of a bitch.
That's great. That's a good choice.
It is a good choice. Damn it, it was mine.
Why do you think that? I'm interested because I have a certain opinion.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at it from getting TV time and everything, they're getting all that because they're involved in all those stupid cinematic and comedy.
Overexposure
skits.
with a bad gimmick or being pushed in the wrong direction can actually be a detriment to you. Like if you get overexposed.
But I'm looking at more. You could have had them as the serious Viking Raiders that would come in and dominate. Be like not your LOD, but like your LOD. Like they could have been just tearing through the tag team division, destroying people, and now you have them involved in this comedy bullshit. Which, yeah, to your point, too much exposure. I mean, they're not getting too much. They're getting the right amount of TV time, but it's just.
I mean,
every time
in other
now,
words, what I mean is like the Bobby Lashley and Lana, whatever, and Rusev angle was a lot of exposure, but it was awful.
It was awful.
But
they were trying hard, those guys.
Yeah. So they were trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, but at the same time, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, they might be getting TV time because people could be like, "What do you mean they're not getting a push?" We didn't say push. No, we said underutilized.
They're getting utilized.
There you go. Yeah, that's the difference between the push and and they could be utilized a whole lot different. I mean, Raymond Rowe, that guy, he has like an MMA background, like. And then the other guy, he's just big imposing figure. So why, fucking Edric, whatever his name is, Eric. Why are you not using them to their full potential and what they should be? And that's a couple of badasses just going in there having squash matches against.
I think they're afraid of that nowadays. I think that WWE's afraid to have badasses, unless your name's Brock Lesnar. They're afraid to make you a badass for some audience.
Look at Braun.
Or Braun Strowman.
Eric is now legal.
Oh no.
Ziggler goes up.
Oh no.
Ziggler goes down. Viking experience, and the Viking Raiders are the new Raw Tag Team Champions.
Here are your winners, and the new Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders!
That was a good choice, cuz. Dave, what is your tag team, huh? Because I heard you react, so I know
that was my choice. I'm gonna really swerve here because I know these guys get great exposure, but it's on the subdivision. I'm gonna go with Imperium, and
they are good. Yep.
And they are good. And some would argue that no, they're getting all the exposure in the world, and that might be true, but it's on the B roster. I think that in this environment, especially with COVID and no fan work, these guys could come out and do what they do and really, I don't want to say chew up time, but really add quality time to like a SmackDown or a Raw, 15-minute segment to where they could really come in and be a real faction, not just a tag team, but like I'm talking about a faction that can really take over either SmackDown or Raw, where they're really a force to be reckoned with, and something that somebody truly has to overcome on the face side, and that could take months, if not a year. And I think that Imperium would be a great setup on the main stage, and they're not getting used. I think it's overdue now.
That would work.
Yeah,
I was saying.
I think I'm ready to see Walter on national television.
Yeah,
Walter's
I mean
so good.
they're doing their spot though in NXT UK.
No,
so I mean
absolutely.
I understand that they have to use them for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Are they just NXT UK? Or are they on?
I
NXT
mean they're on
also?
NXT also. If you know
Walter, Walter, they will. Walter comes on too in a more prominent role sometimes.
Right now,
Walter's
think,
great.
Yeah, they are.
European bomb by Imperium! European bomb! We have new NXT Tag Team Champions!
And new NXT Tag Team Champions, Imperium!
Yeah, they
Walter's
are.
amazing. Yeah,
But I think
Walter
they're
should
pretty
be
much
great, but you
undisputed.
can't take your eyes off that guy. I can't remember the first match I saw him and those chops, and like for some reason that
Him and
dude's
Pete
it.
Dunne, man. Goddamn.
He shouldn't be it. I don't know why he's it, but like maybe it's his size, but yeah,
It's his
he
weird body
works.
shape.
he does some amazing work for a big man, like we talked about. He does stuff that big man
And
shouldn't.
he kills people, and people like in order to get in the ring with him, you're gonna be killed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's great. Him and Brock, let's go.
I would.
Oh
Yeah,
wow, Walter
That's a
and
good
Brock?
choice as well too, and good reasoning. Craig, I will steal your spot, and I will go from AEW, Lucha Brothers.
You son of a! I don't have
All right.
anything. Go ahead.
Did I take your guys?
It's fine. Go ahead. I got it back up. You did.
So,
I was mine with
Lucha Brothers, I feel like, I mean, they individually, of course, Pentagon is awesome. I love him. But and they're both great. They're both fantastic. But if you're not going to keep them as a tag team, split them up now. But your tag team champions are Omega and Hangman Page, which I feel like they're doing the Sabu and RVD kind of get along with Omega and Hangman, where the split's coming and they're tag team champions. The split's coming. You have to have the payoff sometime. But Lucha Brothers, if you're not going to make them single stars, they should be tag team champions. Lucha Brothers, they're on TV every week and they're prominent. Don't get me wrong. Again, we talked about the definition of this topic. It's not like they're not paid attention to. They're just not being utilized right. These guys should be tag team champions. They should be chased by everyone on the roster because these guys are phenomenal and they should be the head of a division. You're going to get the most bang for your buck with these guys by putting them as the top. I get what they're doing with Omega and Hangman, but split them up already. Let them feud and face each other, and they'll have a hell of a match. Omega is a single star. Hangman Page is a single star. And Lucha Brothers can be single stars because Pentagon was, but at the same time, just put them together. If we don't know who they are individually and you don't want to give them individual time to grow their individual characters, put them together. It's an easy fix. They'll be dominant tag team champions. People will like them and watch them because they're both so amazing. They have masks. Pentagon has the cool, skeleton kind of paint, on his face that you do see. And he's awesome. They're both great. There's so many marketing opportunities with Lucha Brothers that you could be doing right now with merchandise and putting the belts on them and making them top of the division and getting the belts off to obvious singles wrestler. That's the way I feel. That's my pick. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree because it could go either way. You guys could easily say they're fine, Jess, which I argue with that personally, but you're right. They are featured on TV every day.
You can argue that they're in the
But
right
utilization,
place,
I figure they should be utilized differently, in my opinion.
The package pile driver, and Ray Phoenix takes out Jungle Boy on the outside. 1, 2, 3.
Amazing performance by Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Brothers.
Okay.
Since you were going to pick him, Craig, what do you think on him?
I was blown away by the first time I'd kind of seen them a few weeks ago, and I just want to see more of them. And if they're elevating them kind of now and just starting to push them, great. But I want to see him utilized. I want to see him like blow up and take over the world, because they make you jaw drop watching those guys.
Craig, what's your tag
matchup on Craig?
I'm not sure where these guys are in the pecking order, but I know that they just recently teamed back up again, and they've been utilized previously. And I don't think it's tough to say that these guys never get a push. But I love a good Usos run, and these
I
guys,
actually thought about them too. That's a good one.
Yeah, and to see them kind of back again, when paired with the right people, kind of with the right program, like there's no reason they couldn't carry that whole division and bring everyone up with them. Like,
well, are you talking about the right program on TV or the right drug and alcohol treatment program?
Stop it.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
David.
No, I mean,
What?
to Dave, I know
Me
David
right
joked,
now.
but to Dave's point, like I think the main reason why they're not is because one of them has an issue right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of why. But I see your point in the sense of like, it's always been New Day for the last 4 years that have really been the top of the tag division in WWE, no matter what brand you're on. Usos might win this Raw title. New Day has the other title or whatever. But you're right. Like, New Day is obviously the crowning tag jewel of WWE, period. End of story.
Yeah.
But Usos have, to me, have always been like, they're so good in there, and they do a lot of great moves together. And I like their original gimmick where they would kind of come down and do the dance, and they had face paint.
Miss it. I miss it, Jess. I was
love
just
their
thinking
heel
that.
gimmick too.
Yeah.
I love their heel gimmick as well. With them with no face paint, and just they're awesome.
And what's their gimmick now? It seems like a white and silver.
It's the Uso penitentiary gimmick, but
Yeah.
you know,
So,
I don't know.
I don't actually. It's a great choice, actually. It was your backup choice because I swooped you.
It was like third on my list. I thought about it, but I was always curious if is he even available to wrestle right now? You know, is it Jimmy? Which one is it? Jimmy that's gonna be
I
issue?
don't remember which one has the issues. I think it's the one that's married to Naomi.
Yeah, it is the one that's married to Naomi.
So now let's go to the singles side of it. The underutilized singles choice for us. Cuz, I'll start with you. Who's your singles guy?
I picked 5 because I know you guys.
Bobby Lashley.
Nice, very nice. Yes,
Yep.
Good one.
Same thing as the Viking Raiders. Another wrestler that you can have as that badass. He has an MMA background. He fought a lot in Bellator, and he's got a lot of wins under his belt. And I mean, the potential right there. I know it's talked about all the time on the internet, him versus Brock, but why the fuck not? Why?
But you know what though? To back up your point, what promotion of all promotions did the best with Lashley?
Impact.
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah,
So why not? Because
Come
Vince
on.
is like, I don't want to look like we copy them. So.
we unfortunately we lost Craig for a moment, but that's fine. He'll come back on.
He'll come back.
But no, I agree with Lashley 100%. I never
That's
even
a
thought of
great
him actually
pick.
when I was thinking about choices. That's a
Yeah.
great pick because yes, like I feel somehow if Impact could get it right, I don't know what they need with Lashley on the main roster. Mouthpiece. They don't need a cheating angle where he takes.
No, that's exactly.
You know what I mean? Like Rusev
they don't
fight,
need
whatever.
that.
He doesn't need to be doing that. Like
Well,
you don't
you've
need
seen
that.
him where he starts to squash people. You feel like they're finally gonna get on track with it, and then he disappears.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And they put him with a stupid Lana gimmick.
When he was with Rush, when Rush was his mouthpiece or whatever, that I kind of liked that.
Yeah,
it worked.
That's the full Nelson. Bobby Lashley with a full Nelson on Ricochet, and that's it. Ricochet taps out. Bobby Lashley not relenting. And this time there is no escape for Ricochet. Here is your winner, Bobby Lashley. Alexander.
Yeah,
It
I do
worked.
too.
On
I
a
like
heel
what they're doing
side, it
now.
was
You know,
different.
with him, Shelton, and MVP.
I do too.
The
Yeah.
Hurt Business.
By the way, Rush is way more talented off the mic. He's good on the mic, but oh my gosh, his work in the ring is impressive. Not
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
he's
too-
really
Hell
good.
yeah. Oh my God.
Jesus,
He's good.
he's incredible. Yeah, that's a great pick because I had that
Have to,
nowhere on my
yeah.
list, and I'm like, well, I'm dumb. Let's just
No, yeah, but he's
I'm embarrassed
definitely.
to tell you my choices now.
Nope.
That's a good one.
So Dave, go ahead and give us your singles star.
I think this is going to come off quite obvious, and we've talked about it for a long time. And I will preface this by saying that I think it's coming. I think we're right in the middle of them finally realizing that it's time for this gentleman. And I'm talking about Big E.
Yeah. Okay. I love
Big
it.
E, in my opinion, has been underutilized for a long time in the realm of a singles, because this is my singles choice. If it's a tag team choice, I don't have any problem. He's gotten his due there. But I felt for a long time Big E has come into his own as an individual. Their crowd loves him. I crack up when he comes up. You know, when they come up as New Day and he's doing what he's doing, he's having fun. When Big E is having fun, he is the most charismatic, fun-loving, character that is just ready to come across a situation where he crosses the wrong heel who happens to be champion, and he goes on a chase and starts to do some serious work. Big E is close to a 300-pound man that can do things that a 300-pound man shouldn't be able to do in the ring. And Big E also has well, he's not that.
No, but he's fast.
Yeah, he is fast. I'll give you that. He's very fast, and he can move. He can work. But he also has the charisma to be able to get us to watch every week. And I'm excited to see, even if his buddies were down on the apron cheering him on and helping him, I would still want to see what Big E could do in the realm of a main stage.
I will disagree with you on that, because
you should be totally separate.
Yes, I was disappointed with the Kofi resurgence because he didn't break away from those guys. Not break up or turn on them, but just literally have a promo to be like, for the other two guys to tell Kofi, you started way before we did. This is a legacy that's been with you since 2009 when Kofi joined or whatever it was, or I don't remember what year. I think it was 2009. This has been building since 2009, Kofi. We want you to go fly. Don't think about us. Don't worry about us. They could have still been New Day on their own while Kofi was world champion. Then when Kofi loses, Kofi comes back and finds them. It's a great story, but like they should have said, go away. Because I didn't want Kofi with the pancakes or the other guys running around and blowing the trumpet or whatever. I didn't want that. I felt that hindered. So I agree with your pick of Big E.
All I'm saying is I would be okay seeing that, at least to see him out there. But I would love to see him on his own. So I do agree with you on that piece.
We want this for you, man. Don't let them deny you for a decade before you take your due. More importantly, you've earned this. You deserve this. And you have our blessing, man.
You sure?
I put your meat on my meat, man. Gently now.
I just think the guy has the charisma on his own.
Great, man.
Big E might be the best pick of any of our picks, because he has the potential to be a star, like a main event star. And I feel that they are just not using him for whatever odd reason. And as a single star, and I don't know why.
Was it on your list at all? Was he on your list?
He was number 3 on my list.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's get into
Not because I kind of had another one that I really wanted to talk about. But I swooped you last time, Craig, but I'm going to defer to you. And I know that your phone reception was bad, Craig. But Cuz's choice was Bobby Lashley, and Dave, as you know, is Big E for singles. What's your single?
My single isn't resting right now, and I think it's hopefully it wasn't part of the discussion that was had before I kicked off, and apologies. But I was actually seeing what he's done, not necessarily for wrestling, but for kind of beyond that, and seeing maybe how he can parlay it kind of back to wrestling on a bump.
Titus O'Neil.
While Dave is saying Big E, and he's deservedly kind of getting his push that he's kind of deserved in his shot, I would love to see Xavier Woods kind of come back, and I'll be interested to see into his kind of big single shot.
And I think there's a lot he can do. Since he's been gone, what a perfect scenario to bring him back, not apart. Maybe he could come back as a heel.
Yeah, he's
and the other two could be wondering like, hey, what we didn't know you were coming back, and he could be like, oh, I just want to do my own thing. Maybe that's how he reintroduces himself. He splits from New Day.
Because he's
a good choice.
And they've made a pact never to split, right? So it'd be interesting to see what it takes to actually do that. And we've all known, we've read the stories. If anyone's read any,
same thing, they broke up eventually. They all break
up,
up, right?
But if you read the stories, Vince McMahon is so convincing he can make you do whatever he wants, and at the end of the day, he's going to. But if you believe, like, and I kind of almost believe the integrity of the New Day. And Jess, I know you said you were disappointed in Kofi's run, and maybe that's the way it had to be for them, even though it was the worst decision for business, and everyone probably would have liked that.
Those still three guys. It, but yeah,
I mean, I did also, but imagine what Kofi could have done
on his own,
elevated and kind of.
Yeah, I'm not even saying I want to split, right? Because everyone wants a tag team to split. I don't want that for New Day. I want them to go their separate ways willingly.
Space is good.
Even to your point, you'll see it in TNA when the guys come out that's a faction and they look at each other and say, "Go in the back," and they're like, "Okay, cool, I'm in the back. This is on me," and they leave. But they're still, if he loses, they're still cool. You know, that's very easily done on the main roster. They just don't do it. So, sorry, still the Thunder.
No, and that's and just also thinking about, I keep reading things and seeing things about Xavier, and I'm an old man now, so I'm not fully in it. But what he does with Up, Down, Down, what he does,
he's amazing.
Video game, and it's like his cosplay kind of stuff. It's millions and millions of kids and their biggest hope to get another generation of people in the eyes instead of old assholes. But I think Xavier might be the guy, and I would love to see them try and take a shot with him too.
He has an incredible platform, to your point, and he could make it happen.
In other words, he connects in all the social media outlets, like Craig says. Like, he can connect with all of you, which is important. That's the future of the business. That's a really good pick too. Mine is Aleister Black.
Oh,
and he was on fire in NXT. NXT is obviously super different from the main roster. Triple H and Shawn Michaels now recently know how to really push people. I like the fact that he wasn't over gothic, because they could have easily, Vince getting up on the main roster, paint his face white, he's super gothic, whatever, but he didn't. I love his entrance. I love when he's risen up on that board in the fog. I love it. And that's what you need. It's showmanship in wrestling. And even though I absolutely hate his back tattoo, I feel that he is super talented. He showed it on the NXT roster, how good he is. I know he's been injured on the main roster, so that's hampered him. But even before then, they were almost, to their credit, they booked him purposely in the middle. In other words, he never lost, so it wasn't 50-50 booking before he got injured. But they were afraid to put him in. I think they were afraid because they didn't want him to lose and kill him. I think they kind of feel that they have something with him, so they're afraid to pull the trigger. But at least they're not jobbing him out or making him go through this awkward dumb shit. Like, he's not, or bringing a bunch of goth managers down with him or something. Like, they're not doing that with him. It's like they're very cautious with Aleister Black. It's almost like Triple H of all people, and this is me guessing, is telling Vince, just not this one. Don't fuck this one up until we can figure out what we want to do with them.
Vince is your next Mark
It's so
Calloway.
odd because the way they book him, they haven't tried to pull the trigger, but they haven't tried to bury him either.
Yeah.
They've been very careful with him, and then he got injured, and I think he's back now, right? Or he got laid out by Seth and his crew or something like that.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, I don't know if he's injured, and that's why he's being held back right now, but he, to me, is a big deal. And he could be somebody that a lot of people, because he's not overly goth, so you can still relate to him. He's not just appealing to one section. And like I said, he has a great entrance. He has great moveset. You could hype him as a badass. You can do so many different things with him. The sitting Indian style in the middle of the ring is cool. Yeah. The way he does it. He has a lot
with Ricochet, that little partnership. Because my other guy was going to be Ricochet.
That's a great.
Ricochet was on my list too, by the way.
A great
pick seeing those two kind of together, I don't know what worked or what pissed kind of Vince off. But I'll tell you that the longevity of Aleister Black, to this day, he's on my gym playlist. I love that song, and I love that visual and that association with him kind of coming up.
Yes.
It's a dope song.
Black mask, black cover.
So that's, I don't know. I just wanted to have fun with this too. We don't get a chance to talk about in my defense, we don't talk about current product because we can't release every week in a timely fashion.
Just as we can.
What? Shut the. Nah, you dick. We just can't, we can't release in a timely fashion to talk about topical stuff every week. But honestly, too, there's so many people that do it. It's meh. But I like every now and then we could do it because I want to show people that we still love wrestling. That's why we're here. Even though we're not fans per se, of today's product, but there's a lot of cool stuff going on even in this pandemic. Dave has given great suggestions of how they should hone their product now, work on character development. It's necessary. It's what should happen right now. So it's nice that we could all get and talk about today's current product because we still are fans. We don't just like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. We're fans of it, but we do watch wrestling even now. Like, so hell, if they have Mania in LA this year, we're going to fucking go. Or next year.
I'm going. I'm going. Even if they're not there, I'm going to go there.
Even even Cuz will wear a mask if it means going to WrestleMania. That's seriously.
Cuzmania, sell tickets.
Nope.
I'm gonna wear an Alexa Bliss mask.
Bro. There you go. I'll wear the Fiend mask.
Yeah, the Fiend mask. There you go.
There you go. Oh, sorry.
We should all Mania.
And I think it's interesting listening to old dude's perspective. If because you never know who's coming from what in the internet wrestling community and on Reddit and how old these people are and where their perspective is. On this podcast, when we're talking new stuff, you have two different generations. You've got Attitude Era kind of Azar Bailiwick of Cuz, and then you've got a little bit older, like almost Hogan's era kind of generation with Dave Jessamine.
On another podcast, brother.
Yeah, brother. So to hear like those two perspectives and what we kind of think about and how Get Off My Lawn and a little bit of Gen X Get Off My Lawn also and Millennial with Cuz, like, but then we have no idea, and but we always reading. It's good to hear. Like I'm always excited to hear. Like
I try to listen to other podcasts, even if they're annoying and their underwear is hanging out of their dressers. I try to listen to their point of view because a lot of wrestling fans now are in their 20s, and that's a way different mindset. You know, we lived through the Monday Night Wars, and nobody can help when they're born. I've said that more than once on this podcast, you know, so I'm not faulting anybody, but we were fortunate enough to, I started watching wrestling because of the Rockin' 80s, which was a huge boom period. Then the end of the Crockett era was there, and end of NWA. So we saw the whole fall of the territories, and then we saw the scramble in like the early 90s to pick up those pieces. Then we saw the 96, 97 rise of NWO and Austin ECW, and Attitude Era. ECW, that's a good one, cuz ECW is another good one. They were so important, and it helped the development and what wrestling became. Then we saw the decline after the Monday Night Wars ended, but the Ruthless Aggression era was a great era that we all loved. The big names all came together and had quality matches and blew us away for years, and we didn't even realize it until later, by the way. We look back now and we're like, Ruthless Aggression era was the fucking shit, you know. So then we've been kind of in limbo ever since then, you know. From like 2008 to 10 on, we've been sort of searching for something to spark the main interest of the country. As hardcore fans, we get annoyed at casuals. However, casuals bring in the money and they bring in the boom periods, so we need that now. So I like that we talk about this. I think we're still in tune for the most part. No, we're not spring chickens anymore. Dave, Craig, and I are in our 40s. Cuz is 85 years old. A lot of people don't know that. He looks great.
He looks good. Looking good.
I'll tell you what we do, our generation, is we still follow on Twitter and Reddit and Facebook. And when we hear something and enough buzz and are called enough, or on Instagram to be called enough to tune in or watch that segment, that's when we lean in.
Like tonight, right?
That's what got us.
There's so much wrestling nowadays, and I admit, you know, I'm a father, which I wasn't 10 years ago, so I can devote less time. I don't have enough time to watch 9 hours of wrestling every week, and that's just counting NXT, AEW, WWE. I'm not even talking about Impact or Ring of Honor or New Japan. You know, like, I don't have 9 to 12 hours to devote every week, unfortunately, to it, and that's part of the reason I think why we don't do topical episodes every week, because we don't have the time. But at the same time, we're fucking veterans, motherfuckers out there. Whoa. Like, we know what the fuck we're talking about.
Who's saying we're rookies, man?
You give me 10 fucking minutes and we'll be educated on today's product. So everyone calm your tits.
Respect.
Down.
Young bloods.
Respect.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
The new blood brothers.
Except for hit us up on Instagram at O.W.P 2019. Click on Linktree.
What's
you can
Instagram,
find us on several platforms, including Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube.
What's SoundCloud, Dave?
What's Reels, brother?
And don't forget, we are now part of the Wrestle Hub family, all about wrestling podcasts.
Who's Hub?
See my VHS player? Trying to watch my Saturday main event from '84.
You son of bitches. YouTube and Instagram. You know,
we played some Mega Man there, some Super Mario Brothers.
The fuck is the show where I'm trying to close this shit out, and you won't shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Any idea?
Nice big Johnson shirt.
That's the first time I've really had a flub like that. You're welcome.
Answer me one question. Is Instagram like Western Union, yes or no? Okay. I don't know. I don't know.